Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and I'm bringing you today a video of a trip that my friend and I made to a Home Goods, and we found lots of luscious Christmas that had been brought out. And I'm bringing this to you today, and you may be questioning, like, Kristen, why is this in your channel where you're trying to talk about building up this new eBay store and making it your retirement income by shopping at like yard sales and estate sales? And I'm telling you, there's a mythology to this whole thing. I've learned in my wholesale business model that a lot of these stores, one like Home Goods, is shopping from the same sources that I am in my wholesale business. I tend to go there because, I mean, obviously they're bringing in a lot of other things, that because of the volume that they order, they can have product made for them. They're going to international trade shows like in China. They're bringing in stuff, obviously, I'm never going to. But I go in the wholesale world because it lets me get validation as to when I went to these markets. If you're not familiar with it, I go to a market in the beginning to middle of January, and I will start ordering. So in a few months, I will start ordering everything that I'm bringing in for holiday of 2025. So I have been living and breathing this stuff for 10 months now. For most people, this is when they're getting the first introduction of the colors and the themes and just the types of products that's going to be brought out for the season. And like I said, it's new to them, but no longer new to me. And it gives me some validation as to whether or not, like, I was on point when I was at this market with hundreds of thousands of goods presented to me. Was my eye brought to the items of what was going to be the bigger sellers for the season? I may not have the exact products that they have, but it brings in the idea as to the colors and the themes of stuff. I'm saying before that, like, the colors this year for holiday are very white with touches of like a green or that like real teal. It's a very no color type of palette. Or it's the candy theme with the gingerbreads, the toy soldier like nutcracker looking one, and it's the pink, the red, and the white. That seems to be the very big, well, there is the other candy theme of like the light lavender color and pink and white. So definitely a little bit of red in there, but that's the level of most what everybody is going to find this holiday season. Going into these stores makes validation to me that I was bringing in the right products. That was for one thing. But you're looking at it and probably saying, well, Kristen, that's great. I'm not in wholesale. What does this mean for me? Maybe there's some dabbling of things that you want to do for retail arbitrage. That's the time when they start bringing stuff out for you to get an idea, like, what is the hot products. When you're in the stores, I start listening to what people are responding to, conversations of what, when they're there shopping with somebody, like, oh, this is the cutest, or, I really hate. It gives you that feedback for that type of thing. For me, like I said, I'm doing it on a wholesale model. But for you, if you're going to a yard sale and there's a vast amount of stuff out, it gives you an opportunity to start focusing in on your passions or your genres, whatever type of product that you want to niche into. It's going to give you some type, and I'm not saying you have to go to Home Goods. Go to the store that feeds to the genre or passion or niche, whatever it is for your market. But it'll give you the opportunity to see what is the hot products. It also has taught me other things, like I've had some things being reproduced all the time, and I don't always understand or knew that they were reproductions. And when I started to really get seeing something over and over again, it led me to start doing my own research and finding who was the originator of that look and why do they keep knocking them off, so that I started to recognize who the bigger names were, the brands, the theme, the style, whatever term you want to put to it. But it also gave me keywords that I could start doing when I'm out there and I'm hearing conversations going on, things that I wouldn't have even thought about. that maybe some of these people are using, some of these brands are using in their tags, in their online descriptions. You can start looking at some of the websites. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in the store. Start paying attention to what they're calling things, because you're going to want to use some of those in your listings. But it's also going to give you the touching, the seeing, the understanding that when you see those types of mass-produced products that are coming out in the Targets and the Home Goods and wherever this may be, it's going to give you that idea when you start seeing that stuff where it's originally coming from, and you may not start wasting money. I'm obviously talking about things that are more in the home decor world that don't always have a brand name splashed across them. Obviously, if it's clothing and there's a tag in the back, you're going to very, very readily going to be able to look that up. I'm talking about the home decor, the collectibles, where there isn't a tag. Sometimes you try to do the reverse image search and it's just not giving you the most detailed of responses, and you're still kind of having to operate on a gut feeling. When you start going into these stores and you're touching it and hearing, it just gives you a level of education that will not be able to get provided to you just sitting at home behind a computer screen. So let's get to it and I'll show you the shopping video.
I'm having to do a voiceover here because the music was so loud in the background. I was getting copyright infringements on this video. Here I'm inspecting this beautiful beaded garland. I was trying to figure out how they actually constructed it. There is a lot of wire used to make these with these street beads, and they had some jingle bells on. They had a very retro feeling. I was looking for them for myself. In the end, I opted not to get them, but what a beautiful, beautiful piece. I started looking at the ornaments. They usually have very beautiful ornaments here during the season. These two white ones, I just were not looking for that particular color. They were very beautiful. I've seen this brand there numerous times every season. Here, this red and this green mercury glass ornaments, very common. Then I'm looking at these ones, but I'm noticing that the white was not printed correctly on top of the embossing done with these ornaments. The next thing I'm going to be looking at here are these white ones, and I was thinking about doing like a sponged type of gold paint on that raised design, and I figured I just don't have time for that project right now, but beautiful. I'm noticing a lot of these pinks here. This is a hot color for the season. The pink with the red, there's another. The theme of this year pretty much is anything candy. Beautiful there. Catching my eye is this red Mr. Christmas brand tray that I thought was very cute. I'm noticing a lot of the wooden stuff that they brought in for their selection this season. These gingerbread, very cute. That's a very big thing for the season. Then we're traveling down more towards the section where the food and all is. They got this whole beautiful display. I'm noticing a lot of the white that they brought in and the nativity pieces. A lot of food this season. Go down the next aisle, and these red felt Santas catch my eye. They had them last year. Felt they were good. You could use them for a figure or a tree topper. Nutcracker is also big. I'm noticing this lovely doll up on top, and there's me still trying to figure out that it is a tree topper. Next, I will go to that doll there. He's a beautiful shelf sitter. Very iconic for the season. Embodies a lot of what's going on. Noticing the Hello Kitty. We don't get too much in our area, but here is more of just the garlands and the home goods stuff that is around the food area that you'll find. The salt and pepper shakers. I'm looking more in the tabletop section now. And then these cardinal plates really caught my eye. I'm looking to see who's making those because I thought they were very nice, very classic for the season. Then this platter caught my attention with the raised dimensional holly leaves as handles. Thought they were very, very nice. And then, again, noticing these Santa plates, seeing who made those. Thought they were very cute. They were sitting there next to it. These bow napkin rings really caught my friend's attention. We're then heading more towards the, like I said, the kitchenware side. This was at the end, very beautifully done with all of that baking theme and giving of baked goods, cookies, candies, that type of stuff. We left this section and went and found a lot of this gift wrap. That really caught my attention. This beautiful vintage Santa themed design. Loved that. Really liked the retro Santa there. I'm going to start looking through, and several Santas are in there. This one's just a little too modern for me. I'm surprised how much there. This is very lovely with those iconic or atomic stars and snowflakes, but I kind of stuck with the original one that I had. You notice there's some there that are the craft with the white or the craft with the red, or I'm sorry, green trees. This was cute, but the corgi part caught my attention because my son loves corgis, but I noticed there were so many breeds of dogs, and I was like, no, that's just not going to work. This was nice. I liked this Santa, but still sticking with my original, just some plain green. Started going through the other side now. I'm going to find this nutcracker. I did pick that up and wound up taking it back. This was a favorite this season with the silver foil and the Santa faces. I did pick that up. I'm still kind of trying to look to see what the brand is and, who's making it. This one was a favorite as well. This cream color with the Santas and the gold foil dots. I loved that one. Still looking to see who's making it, if there's any brand name attached or it's their brand, which I believe it to be is theirs. I'm now checking out the mugs. I really liked these pink winking mugs. I did pick them up to try and use as an alternative to those vintage ones that are out there on the market in my displays, but I wound up taking them back because I try to do this and I find that I really do like the more vintage piece. Lots of nice ones in there. Moving away from the mugs now, I'm starting to head down that aisle. I was looking for some of the large, statement pieces. Wasn't finding much there, just those really lovely mugs. Did see one there, it was that ornament, but turned around. Still looking at some of the wrapping paper. This nice, more masculine one here with the deer. Lots of those porch signs. There's another one of those same deer ones. More of those ones I picked up. The red ticking is nice, but I did have one still left from my year from last year. This one was nice. It had a neighborhood scene on it. I was thinking about doing that for some of my greeting cards and using that in the making. This was really nice. This stripe, I was liking the waviness of it. I put it on my card at one point, but I wound up putting it back. These were some beautiful cards. This was a money giving card. There was another one there. I was looking just to see if there was a way I could use these cards for upcycling and my greeting cards that I made or like to make. Just very impressed. This was a Martha Stewart, pretty much a keepsake letter that you would have for this child to write to Santa Claus. At first, I couldn't figure out how to figure what it was, and then I was able to figure out how you could get this to open up. And they remind me a little bit of the Mad Libs that you would do as a child, where there's the blank that you just have them fill in. I spent a little bit of time reading this because I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I could recreate this and maybe make this as a kit for my card making channel that I do. Really, really cute piece. For the price of it, and using it as a keepsake, you couldn't go wrong. I found these 3 design sets. I wound up buying these for myself personally to use for Christmas because I gave away all the greeting cards before Halloween. And at this point, I didn't have any cards. Me, the card maker, had no cards to give out at Christmas time. I loved the vintage look of that. I was looking at these ones as a possibility, but I did go back to the other one. Beautiful designs. They do bring in a lot of very nice paper products for them. I'm surprised at how much they do bring in. They must have it. They must make some decent money out of it because they give a lot of space in the store to it. Here, I wasn't sure if these were tags or if they were cards. They are cards, but I was looking to see if I could use some of their tags as an ephemera piece to the front, because in my card making, I find that a lot of that is not in bulk, and I like to make the same card over and over again with the same piece, so that I figured that'd be a good alternative. In here, I do find that somebody placed a piece that you would use for baking and goods. I'm still looking around at just basically all of the cards that they had, and now we head back over to see more of, like, we're heading more towards the kitchen section of it now. Just checking out brand names, again, checking out themes, checking out price points, checking out the general mix of what they choose to bring in. And there is that one piece I found that was for the baked goods, and I was starting to head over that way. This, to me, I'm looking just in general what I could do with some of this. This I felt was a good piece that you could use for like a tree stand, very small tree, instead of it being the utensil holder. That was its intention. And now I'm getting over there for these, which are these treat tins. And I thought they were great because I do like to give out baked goods during the Christmas season. And I'm looking at, again, what are the brand names on these? What is the general themes of them? You know, how many are they offering for the price? I see a lot of this stuff in my wholesale business when I'm at the merchandise marts, and it just doesn't seem to me to be much of a moneymaker. But you know what? There is such a wide array of what they bring in. It's making me assess what the selection is that they're choosing to bring in, as far as, you know, you got the candy cane, but then you got the Santa, you've got the more botanical. I'm looking at the breakdown of that. I'm also looking at, you know, these are like boxes instead of just the tins that were like a takeout container. Here's some loaf pans that they had. Behind this, in more of the center of the aisle, yes, this is all of the stuff I put in there for right now. I'm looking at the brands because my friend had picked one up, and hers is more of a brand name, like a person's name. So I'm realizing that that is not like theirs. They did bring in like a designer's name of that. So I start going over to this table and really starting to now dissect what is in this table. Like I said, it's a very baking theme. It's a lot of gift giving. You know, here's the sprinkles. Here is like the candy toppings, the cupcake papers that you would use on the outside of the cupcake to dress it up, mixing bowl sets, different things of like this beautiful plate that you could use for giving cookies on. Very nostalgic piece there. Still just dissecting the general theme. A lot of pinks, reds, white. Here's where you're seeing, like I said, some of these other pieces for displaying. Here's some loaf pans for doing some gift giving during the season. Like I said, just checking brands and different pieces. That white tree, though, it's just not getting away from that white tree. It's funny. And let's see, what else do we find in there? We're just moving around, looking at, here's some gift tissue. The gift tissue, we were noticing that it only has like one print versus all the red, white, and blue, or I'm sorry, red, white, and green that they put in there. So we are leaving this area now and heading more towards the register. And as we start going, I find this one wreath. To me, that is like the embodiment of what the season was, the pink, the flocking, the candy. Here is a whole section of statement pieces, and you're finding like the browns type of the gingerbread. We are still traveling up when I do see this whole display of pink. This has a lot of the gingerbreads houses in it, the nutcracker soldiers. There's that pink light up ceramic vintage style tree. Those centerpiece trains were beautiful. There was 2 of them in there. They sold very quickly. And there again, more of the trees you would use in the background. Just some very just beautiful pieces. Just different things to make like a little scene or a village with. There's the, like I said, the flocking. Here's some ornaments they had on the end that were packaged. Those ones were just golds. Here's some frames that they put out. I'm heading back when I catch, again, my eye. These are the kids' version, I guess, of their wrapping paper. Lots of, there's dinosaurs. There's the next one, I believe, is the construction theme. There was, I think, may have been something with space in there. There is dinosaur, but no girls. I was very surprised. I did not find girl in there. Heading up, and we find these lanterns that were made out of, looked like tree stumps. I was debating for these on my front porch and was really inspecting them because I thought the design would be great, but I wound up finding that they were quite heavy. I was thinking they could be left out more for winter. And leaving now, we start heading towards the register, and let's see, I'm spending a lot of time there. I find more wrapping paper that they usually have there by the registers with the bags behind them. There's a very botanical on a gold foil. Lots of things in here that you'll find very traditional, and you're not going to find much when you look at this with the snowman, the blue, there's one that has a penguin. Not very much of that cartoon type of, like I said, the snowman, fun in the snow theme this year. It was very much the pinks, the reds, and very much the cookies, the candies. There's one plaid in there. And I was surprised that the bags behind there, they had not brought in any of those shopping bags that you can get, the reusable shopping bags that were Christmas. So I'm going to just let this go for now, and we're almost on our way out of the store.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. I know there was a lot of like gift wrap that I was looking at and all, but the themes of stuff doesn't just come through in the physical like figurines or ornaments, let's say for Christmas, because that's part of my passion. But it comes in all of the forms of it. All of the coloration is going to come from everywhere. It's from, as I was showing in that video, the greeting cards, the tags they're putting out, you know, just even like the fabrics of stuff. So kind of train your eye to look for things throughout. Don't just pay attention to the specific, you know, if you're a person that wants to just collect wall clocks per se or something, don't just look in that department. Go and look at the other things that go around it, and that's going to hopefully give you some better ideas of how to train your eye and get to some of the more higher price ticketed stuff, or be able to make the turnover of your stuff quicker because you're buying the things now that you're seeing other people are finding desirable. I would really appreciate a thumbs up if you got some good information out of this content. Maybe you were just here to do some, want to look at what's new and coming to Home Goods. I would still appreciate a thumbs up if you got any good enjoyment out of that. If you're here and you want more content pertaining to starting a new eBay business or growing your eBay channel, I would love for you to subscribe down below. I have a lot of content I have in queue coming, and a lot more ideas of what I want to bring to the market. I have been doing it for 22 years, so I have a lot of experience I'm trying to draw from. I would love to help other people on this journey because I have been so benefited and blessed by being able to be, at least in the last 11 years, having to work from home, and there is so many perks and benefits to that, and I would love to be able to pass that along to others like yourself in the future. And by subscribing down below, it'll put my future videos in your feed, and I'm going to say bye for now. See ya.